What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and tonight we're going to be talking about a massive makeover for COD 2.0, more updates that you've been waiting for, and some that already exist in the back end. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, drop a like, and be sure to show as much support as you guys can to Harrison Makes Things. His link is down below in this video's description. He's a professional graphic designer that has done some work for this channel before, and has done a phenomenal job showcasing constructive criticism for the UI and the art direction in COD 2.0. This is also a sequel to a video that I made a good, I think 3 months ago, where he ended up putting together a really well-edited piece talking about what could be improved about Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, and the UI overall. He's done a follow-up video to that one with even more changes that I do believe are going to be coming to the game relatively soon, and also some changes that you guys probably didn't even think about. So without further ado, let's jump right into the reaction. Now, you guys know I don't do reaction videos all that often, unless it's a must-watch video, and I already know this one's going to be a banger. So again, here's his YouTube channel and his Twitter. Both are linked down below. Show him some love. But let's take a look at his brand new video.
Season 2 of Modern Warfare 2 finally came out. After a predictably long first season that left the game feeling very stale.
Yeah.
After a less than stellar launch of Warzone 2, everyone was missing small map gameplay more than ever. And the teams at Activision certainly delivered a mixed experience.
I love Ashika, though.
Resurgence's return
I do.
as Ashika Island has some really good moments. The action is faster than it is in Al Mazrah, and the game feels significantly more polished than in Season 1.
I definitely agree.
The reception still isn't all that great. Why? Because of the movement? The meta? The audio?
3 months of those weapons, yeah.
Those are the common reasons you'll see on Twitter, but I think it has a lot more to do with the quality of life mechanics and the looting system. All of the mechanics feel a little bit rough around the edges. The game lacks polish that gives us an intuitive experience with good replay value.
He did so well redesigning everything.
Let's break it down.
Danny DeVito. All right. Looting, player HUD, buy station, pings, and miscellaneous. So I love how he organizes these videos. I have timestamps down below as well.
The process of looting in Warzone 2 is kind of exhausting. The items on the ground are finicky. The backpack is incredibly clunky. And everything's kind of just white text along with an ambiguous icon. This makes looting feel more like a chore rather than a fun aspect of the game.
Fair point, fair point.
Everything is very hectic and slow-paced. This is largely due to the overwhelming amount of reading we have to do in order to decipher whether an item is good or not. Everything kind of feels like this. Everything is just gray.
Everything in your face.
Good or not. If we had some quality of life changes made, our brains could better categorize the items to make looting feel more like this.
There is a lot. I think that's why they originally had the DMZ looting system with the backpacks in Warzone 2 to avoid the piñata cluster F of spam everywhere on the floor, but still, we need things color-coded.
Easily change.
The readability. Absolutely.
The text box displayed when you hover over an item is really jarring and difficult to read. This is for a couple reasons. The box and the text are far too small, for one. It's about 20% smaller than the boxes in Warzone 1.
Yeah, those were huge,
and it's less
man.
Opaque,
I forgot about
poor
that.
Visibility. The font on the items is an uppercase sans serif title font, which, according to a study by Harvard, is very bad for quick readability. This is because all words have the same uniform rectangular shape, so your brain can interpret the text at a quick pace.
I love how you did his homework.
A redesign like this makes the text far more legible, which immediately speeds up the time to read, making the gameplay much quicker as a whole.
Wow. That looked great. Colors, too. Colors is a big thing that needs to be looked at.
Additionally, we need to develop more patterns of value within the loot. In Warzone 1, and basically every other game right now, there's a color-coded rarity system. Common, uncommon, rare, epic, and legendary.
I almost forgot what Warzone 1 was like. You know, I know we played it, a couple of months ago before Warzone 2 came out. That was the last time I played it, at least. But it's crazy how so many of those core features that we all likely took for granted are just not in Warzone 2, and now we're realizing, damn, we actually had a fairly good color-coded readability system for 3 years in a row. We just don't have it for Warzone 2 for some reason.
It's not groundbreaking at all, but it develops patterns in players' brains. There's inherent value established with a higher rarity. Those patterns are great for making an intuitive experience. The players don't need to decipher whether a gun or an item is good or not.
You just
The
pick it
color
up.
coding does that for us. It makes it a far better quality of life, and speeds up all the looting and the gameplay overall.
Oh, that's a secret room from the red door. Floating loot as well. Yeah, the floating loot.
My final complaint with looting is that loot disappears into the ground altogether.
Yeah, or gets stuck and bugged.
Reincorporating 3D floating items like Warzone
I like
1,
that.
Fortnite, or any other battle royale would be a much appreciated change to speed up the pace of looting.
Honestly, let me know in the comments what features from Warzone 1 you forgot existed, because as I'm watching this video and as I watched his first one that he made, I forgot about some things that were in Warzone. I played it a lot, and by playing Warzone 2 so much, or having played it for the past couple of months a lot, I've forgotten just how many things Warzone 1 had above Warzone 2 in terms of these base mechanics. Let's see. All right, now moving on to the HUD. Probably that and the buy station are the ones I'm looking forward to the most here for this video. But also as a reminder, with the way Harrison has presented this video and the last one he made, this is exactly how to do constructive criticism without being toxic and condescending and rude to devs on Twitter or being disrespectful in videos and commentaries. This is the way to showcase and emphasize what could use some work, what he likes or dislikes about the game. This is the way to do it, and that's why I'm reacting to this video as well, because this is a great example of how to properly talk about what the game needs.
The current player HUD is awful. There's no background, it's too small, and it shows very little information. It's just an all-around step back from Warzone 1. In Resurgence especially, I want to know key information quickly without having to confer with my teammate. This quality of life feature from Warzone 1 of having a detailed and readable player HUD made the game feel polished.
Right.
It breaks up the monotony of small text that we currently have and put key information on the forefront of the experience.
I love this.
This was a feature that just shouldn't have been rolled back from Warzone 1. Rather than asking if my teammate has a kill streak, waiting for him to respond, and then asking him to call it in, I can just say, "Hey Paul, pop your UAV."
Because you know he has one. Yeah, that's the thing too, is I feel like when Warzone got all these quality of life changes, during Vanguard cycle especially, I thought they were introducing these things to kind of get community feedback because they were features planned for Warzone 2's launch, but they figured let's roll it out a little bit sooner through Warzone 1 to see if the community likes it that much, so that when Warzone 2 comes out, they won't have an issue where they're constantly cycling through features and you know, redesigning things and playing catch up for a couple of months in a row. They could release a solid experience day one that is built off of the feedback they got for Warzone 1, and they could just move on from there and focus on new content, not like what we have now, which is them kind of walking back on certain decisions and finally introducing us to things that probably should have been there from the beginning. Here's money though.
Another quality of life feature I love with the player HUD is customizable money tips. In Warzone 1, we could see when our team's balance was enough to purchase a loadout.
That's great.
This addition was awesome, since I'm terrible at math. I'd like to take that idea a step further and add personalized money tips.
Totally forgot about this.
Essentially, I could be able to toggle whether I'd like it to display a loadout, a UAV, or any other buy station item.
Being able to choose. I like that.
The little things like this keep the player focused on the action rather than playing a math or a looting simulator. They allow the player to experience the game, the combat, the map, rather than just constantly trying to manage the inventory.
That guy's name's Booty Eater. Oh my god. That was a great tip, honestly. Just having that option to put one of those at your HUD. Buy station. This is a big one. I know you guys definitely want changes with this.
If you follow me on Twitter, which you definitely should, then you've seen my discussion with the current and new buy station designs in Warzone 2.
Yep.
Essentially, the item that each buy station sells changes per location. This makes the game counterintuitive, since it's kind of a gamble whether that risky trip to the buy station was worth it or not.
Not a fan of that.
To catalyze this feeling, each item has limited stock. Not to mention that the horizontal scrolling makes the experience utterly jarring. Here's my concept for a redesigned
So
buy
much better.
station.
So much better.
It's intuitive. It creates habits and muscle memory. You shouldn't have to take a gamble on whether a buy station has an item you want or not. The unpredictable nature of that makes the game less fun. Additionally, rather than trying to navigate between the gear and weapons menus, I've changed the design to be tabbing between the sections.
Yeah, gear and weapons. Also, can't believe Temper's not in the game yet, but I don't feel like a majority of the community is on board with each buy station having different items. That RNG is not fun, on top of the fact that things run out of stock. So you can finally get to a buy station that happens to have a UAV because the other one didn't, but then maybe the UAV's out of stock because somebody else already hit that station before you. That's strange, but I love how intuitive this looks right here.
It's a lot more natural and will speed up the time it takes to use a buy station. This redesign makes buy stations feel more predictable in a good way.
Yes.
The risk of the buy station should be whether it's safe or not whether you can navigate the menus in time.
Right. Can you imagine how many things could have been tweaked better and worked on if a majority of the dev time didn't go into redesigning the wheel where they didn't have to, right? It's like they walked back on so many things they didn't need to. I can't imagine how much time that took away from other important elements. Pings. Something they really need some work, for sure.
Pings, unfortunately, still suck in Warzone 2. They're tiny, they disappear for no reason, and you can't quickly tell who pinged an objective. This ultimately leads to a breakdown in team communication. The problem is that it takes time to read each ping, identify who pinged it, and then register that information.
They overlap so much too.
Ping redesign, similar to Warzone 1, solves
Huge.
these problems immediately.
Yes.
Pings need to be significantly larger and less transparent than they are right now.
They need to be massive. Yeah, that was a great tip too, because I still don't understand why pings are so
The loadout
small.
marker pings don't stay persistent on the TAC map or within the in-game HUD. This means that I have to actively search for my loadout
Yeah,
on the
why?
map if I want to find it.
Why does that
It
happen?
leads to me ultimately forgetting to find my loadout until it's already in the gas. The minor quality of life change of having the loadout icons be persistent, like Warzone 1, would make the game feel so much more polished and lead to significantly healthier lobbies overall.
These seem like such small changes, but at the end of the day, they do impact gameplay quite a bit, more than you probably expected.
In Warzone 1, TAC map icons made a lot of sense. Yellow indicates intel, blue indicates loadout, white indicates vehicles,
Right.
and green indicates buy station.
Again, color coding.
That makes sense.
We already had
Green
this.
means money, yellow means mission. In Warzone 2, everything is just green and white. Why? Beats me. It leads to poor readability that hinders the quality of life greatly. I
It
can
is
almost never
strange.
find a buy station because the icon color is a light green. It blends into the vehicles for being too white and blends into the contracts for being too green. Contracts need to go back to being yellow, like now. As a result of this change, loadouts should go back to being blue. This was a poor
Agreed.
change that made no sense.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you why that even got walked back on. Makes no sense. Hopefully Raven can polish that up in a few updates or something. Scoreboard, all right.
Another muscle memory thing in Warzone 2 that I hate is the scoreboard.
Oh, having to hit the D-pad?
Rather than pressing pause like in Warzone
Right.
1, you first have to open the TAC map and then tab over using L1 and R1. My squad often goes for fast action kill races, so this extra step is definitely noticeable and frustrating, especially in
OnlyFans.
Resurgence. Let's bring this back to pause. We currently have all this free screen real estate on the pause menu, so it's a nice quality of life change to
That'd be
speed up the
perfect.
pace of gameplay.
Just hit one button to pull that up. That'd be amazing. Kill pop-ups too. Emphasize them more. Give them a
When you get
color.
down or an elimination in Warzone, you get an XP pop-up that indicates what you did. Great. Unfortunately, in Warzone 2, this pop-up
Great.
is in a transparent white text. As a result, it's super hard to read, especially for visually impaired people. At minimum, this text color should be changed to yellow,
Yes.
orange, or green.
Yeah, I'll say yellow.
Preferably, the text should be orange, with the down text being a soft shade of red,
Oh,
and
that's
team white being dark red.
fair.
This makes it so you don't actually have to read what you did. Your brain will just recognize the color and associate it with a specific action.
Yes. Yes.
Also, the cracked armor text is very distracting. Just replace it with a cracked plate icon. Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing, bada boom. I mean, multiplayer already has color-coded indications that you
The
killed somebody
compass bar
or
is
someone killed
difficult
you.
to read, especially if you're visually impaired.
That's really
The
difficult.
text isn't big or bold enough. The yellow is too light and blends in with the background. There isn't a big enough drop shadow applied on the text.
I like how every professional graphic designer can look at the COD 2.0 UI and be like, there's like 70 things right there that they would change. It's nuts.
As a result, the compass is very difficult to read. The compass can be a great tool to use, especially since now gunfire is only shown on the compass and not the minimap. Adding more contrast to it like this makes it far more readable.
I don't even look at the compass, to be honest with you. I forgot that there's even fire indicators on there. Kill Connor.
Kill, player list, and spectator counter got updated in Season 2. It's pretty nice looking, but it's way too small to read easily. Make it bigger and make the text bolder.
A little bit bigger. Yeah, that's a good point too. Lobby background. Here's one that I think you guys are really going to appreciate.
Modern Warfare 2 made a major mistake that's made the game lack an identity. There's no seasonal walking screen that indicates new content. In Modern Warfare 2019, Cold War, and Vanguard, the lobby's menu background changed seasonally, and it reflected the style of the new season. In Modern Warfare 2, it's remained this dark and depressing background since the beta. It's a major missed opportunity to add some more style points, and to promote the new content of the game. People like to say that Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2 lack content, but in reality, the game just does a bad job at promoting the new content.
That's a fair point,
honestly.
honestly.
Dynamic walking screen is a very good tool to showcase the love, the care, and the polish that goes into game dev.
Like it says the season at the top left, but it needs to show more in the background. Here's our conclusion. What a great video, man.
These are the more subtle changes that too often go under the radar. They're not as obvious as the glaring problem with the game. Everyone knows the TTK is way too fast.
Fair.
Audio is inconsistent at best, and top-ranking weapons like the RPK and the Finnick overstayed their welcome by several months.
Yeah, that got stale.
Resurgence didn't even launch with all squad sizes as Activision said it would.
That was weird.
There are many changes that need to be made, and I feel assured that Raven is well aware of the big problems. However, I think it's the little things, the quality of life things,
100%.
that separate a frustrating game from an awesome one.
100%. 100%. What a great video. Seriously, Harrison, if you're watching this reaction, much love. You did a great job with this. Can't wait to see more content you end up producing on your YouTube channel or Twitter. But yeah, chat, that was beautifully articulated. Lots of changes need to be made, and I feel like as Raven takes more charge of Warzone 2, all those small things could be incorporated in just one content update. I feel like, if anything, the way Warzone 2 is now, or has been, was kind of like a beta stage, and we would have thought by Season 1 or Season 1 Reloaded by the latest, you would have saw all those literal quality of life improvements added to the game to make it feel like it is a sequel to Warzone 1 and built off of what already worked and was established with 3 years of Warzone. But now it's like we're still playing catch-up, and hopefully they're done playing catch-up by at least Season 3. Right, that would be great so that they can focus on actual new concepts and new things that Warzone 1 never had. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on this wonderful video by Harrison Makes Things regarding a significant makeover to COD 2.0? Yes, both Modern Warfare 2 and even Warzone 2. Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.